I'm Jason Carter. Physical optimization defines my life. The day I was born, doctors nearly killed me with medical malpractice. They said I'd never walk. I've been proving them wrong for 35 years. It's easier than you think to obtain super optimal health. I've devoted my life to it, and with my help, you can too. I'm Jason Carter, and this is ENZYMENTAL. And welcome to ENZYMENTAL. I'm Jason Carter, and today I wanted to talk to you about homocysteine, which is an amino acid that is naturally produced in the body as a normal byproduct of the breakdown of the amino acid methionine. Normally, homocysteine would only exist for a brief period before it's converted into the amino acid cysteine, or the body recycles it back into methionine. The main nutrients needed for this conversion are vitamins B6, folate, and B12. Without adequate amounts of these nutrients, homocysteine can build up in the blood, and other factors that may lead to elevated homocysteine typically include smoking, caffeine and alcohol intake, some prescription medications, poor kidney or thyroid function, and diabetes. Some research suggests that homocysteine may accumulate as a result of increased oxidative stress and associated inflammation, and exactly how homocysteine itself might cause damage at high levels still really isn't fully understood, but it's thought to cause damage to the lining of the blood vessels by exacerbating inflammation, inhibiting nitric oxide-induced vasodilation, and producing reactive oxygen species. Homocysteine was discovered in the 1930s, but it wasn't until the 1960s when it was connected to a rare genetic disease that causes severe homocysteine elevations and premature cardiovascular disease in children that its health implications began to be understood. Shortly after that, researchers realized that in the general population, mild to moderate elevations in blood homocysteine were an independent risk factor for cardiovascular disease and were associated with many other conditions like stroke, dementia and Alzheimer's, migraines, macular degeneration, and even some cancers. To lower homocysteine levels, supplementation with folate, vitamins B6, and B12 is absolutely necessary. Many people will do better to use the methylated forms of these B vitamins, and in this that would be folate as L-methylfolate or L5-MTHF, which is methyl tetrahydrofolate, B6 as pyridoxal 5-phosphate, or P5P, and B12 as methylcobalamin, or even better than that, dibencoxide. You can also increase your intake of foods rich in these vitamins, like leafy greens, nuts and seeds, poultry, dairy, eggs, meat, and fish. When the homocysteine disease correlations were first discovered, it was found that by simply correcting the B vitamin deficiencies, usually through supplementation, homocysteine levels were decreased. Unfortunately, over the years, research has not been clear on whether lowering homocysteine actually reduces the risk of dying from cardiovascular causes, heart attack, or stroke. Although a few studies have shown a benefit, most have found that lowering homocysteine does not reduce the risk of thrombosis, which is the formation of blood clots, and atherosclerosis, which is the buildup of plaque in the arteries. It's currently thought that reducing homocysteine levels through B vitamin supplementation may only be effective if used in the early stages of disease development. So what does it mean to have high homocysteine? It likely means that a person is at an increased risk for several diseases, but whether homocysteine is the cause of the disease or is caused by the disease process itself is not fully understood. It may also indicate a B6, folate, and/or B12 deficiency, which have health implications all on their own. This deficiency could be due to a poor diet, or if there are digestive system issues like malabsorption. Vegetarians and vegans are more at risk of a B12 deficiency because B12 is found only in meat, poultry, fish, dairy, and eggs. High homocysteine levels can also indicate an inherited genetic polymorphism that interferes with how folic acid, the synthetic form of folate used in fortified food products and many supplements, is utilized by the body. The process of homocysteine breakdown involves the active form of folate, which again is that 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, or 5-MTHF, and people with a mutation in the MTHFR gene cannot convert folic acid into its active form, and so for these people the breakdown of homocysteine is greatly inhibited. Mutations in the MTHFR gene are quite common and could possibly explain why homocysteine-lowering studies that rely on folic acid have not been effective for reducing incidence of cardiovascular disease. Until we have a better understanding of homocysteine and the role it plays in health and disease, the bottom line is that high homocysteine levels should be taken as a warning sign. You definitely want to investigate possible nutrient deficiencies and genetic polymorphisms that may be involved, and probably the best thing you can do first is to focus on the factors that we know improve disease outcomes, and these can be things as simple as avoiding processed foods, eating more vegetables and fruit, eating less sugar, exercising regularly, getting adequate sleep, doing what you can to reduce stress, and of course using appropriate supplements. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.